You are looking at the most Earth-like world ever found. And almost everything about that sentence is a lie. It has clouds, wind, rivers that carve valleys, rain that falls from a sky thick enough to walk through, shorelines, seasons, and from far enough away, you could mistake it for home. But for decades, you couldn't look at it at all. A veil of orange haze wrapped this moon so completely that our most powerful eyes saw only a smudge. Then, in the winter of 2022, humanity pointed the James Webb Space Telescope straight through that haze and caught Titan doing something no one expected to see. It didn't find a dead, frozen rock. It found something that was still happening, still moving, still becoming. And once you understand what that something is, the silence of this world stops feeling peaceful. It starts to feel like a clock winding down. Before we go any further, hit that like button and drop a comment. Do you think Titan is a cradle for life or a warning of what happens when a world loses its sky? Now, let's talk about what Webb actually found, because the answer is far more unsettling than any science fiction. Titan is the largest moon of Saturn, bigger than Mercury, and the only moon in the solar system with a real atmosphere, denser than the air you are breathing right now, made mostly of nitrogen, just like ours. Inside that nitrogen, something familiar is happening. Clouds gather, drift, and release rain that pools into rivers, lakes, and seas large enough to swallow the Great Lakes whole. Stand on the surface, and you would see weather, real weather, a landscape shaped by liquid falling from the sky over millions of years, with deltas, channels, and coastlines. It is the only place we've ever found, besides Earth, where liquid falls from clouds and collects on solid ground. But here is where familiarity breaks, because that liquid is not water. It is methane, the same gas that hisses out of your kitchen stove, but on Titan it is so cold, nearly minus 180 degrees Celsius, that methane behaves the way water does on Earth. It evaporates, clouds, and rains down as cold oily droplets onto a frozen world where the rock beneath your feet is water ice, hardened to granite. A second Earth running on the wrong chemistry at the wrong temperature. For 13 years, we watched it through Cassini's fading eyes, but we never quite saw the one thing that mattered most, until Webb turned its infrared gaze toward Titan's northern hemisphere in November 2022 and again in July 2023, aiming at a season that no close instrument had ever properly seen. But what Webb captured next wasn't just weather, it was the fingerprint of a world that is still alive, and that is where the story takes a dark turn. Here is the first shock. Webb and the Keck Observatory watched clouds rise over Titan's northern seas, climbing to higher altitudes over a span of days. Rising clouds are the fingerprint of convection, the same engine that builds thunderstorms on Earth, and it had never been confirmed in that hemisphere until that moment. Think about what that means. Titan is not a frozen photograph, it is breathing. The methane seas evaporate, the vapor rises, gathers into clouds, and returns as rain to refill the seas. A complete active turning cycle, 1.5 billion kilometers from the sun, entirely without our star's warmth to drive it. And because Titan's gravity is only 1/7 of Earth's, its atmosphere puffs out to nearly 45 kilometers deep, 4 times deeper than ours. A vast churning ocean of air with storms climbing through it. That image alone is staggering. A second living world, rain and clouds and seas and seasons, all of it real. But that's not the biggest problem. The real challenge was something nobody expected. When Webb broke Titan's atmosphere down into its individual wavelengths of light, reading the air like a barcode, it pulled out a signature never seen on Titan before. A fragment called the methyl radical, a broken piece of methane caught in the middle of becoming something else. That fragment is the moment of transformation, the chemistry that precedes life, unfolding right now, not frozen in the past, not theorized on a whiteboard, but caught in the act by a telescope built by a species on another world. Sit with that. On a moon of Saturn, in a sky of methane, the building blocks of organic chemistry are assembling themselves in the present tense, the same family of carbon-based molecules that on the early Earth eventually led to life. For decades, we could see the starting ingredients and the finished haze, but we had never caught the reaction itself, until now. And that's where the situation became far more complicated, because every time Titan breaks a methane molecule apart, it frees hydrogen, which is light enough to drift up through the atmosphere and escape into space, permanently. Titan is losing the very ingredient that makes it what it is. The methane that fills its sky, its seas, and feeds its strange chemistry is being slowly, permanently used up, and as far as we can tell, there is no obvious source replacing it fast enough. Unless something deep inside is refilling that supply, the clouds will thin, the rain will stop, the seas will dry, and the whole magnificent cycle will wind down and go quiet. Now, you have heard this story before, you just didn't know it was the same story. It happened to Mars, once a world with water, rivers, lakes, maybe even an ocean, until its hydrogen bled away into space, and over hundreds of millions of years, that blue world became the red, silent desert we know today. Titan may be walking the same road, same exit, different fuel. So look again at what Webb actually captured. Not a world being born, but possibly a world in the last brief spring of a chemistry that is already running out, the clouds, the seas, the recipe for life rising in the oven. All of it may be the final act, not the first. Webb didn't catch Titan waking up, it may have caught Titan breathing out. And this is the part that should keep you up at night. Consider the timing. It took our species 4 billion years to appear, a few thousand to build civilization, a few decades to learn how to fold a mirror of gold-coated metal, fly it 1,000,000 kilometers from Earth, and teach it to read the chemistry of a moon we will likely never set foot on. We finished that telescope, pointed it at Titan, and we did it during the exact stretch of cosmic time when Titan's chemistry is still active, still visible, still happening. A few million years too early, and there might have been nothing yet to see. A few million years too late, and the seas might already be gone, the sky gone still, the recipe abandoned mid-sentence. We arrived in the window, the narrow, flickering window when this world has something to show us. And we won't have to rely on telescopes forever. A NASA mission called Dragonfly, a nuclear-powered drone built to fly through Titan's thick air, is on its way to land there in the 2030s and hunt through that chemistry up close. For the first time, we will study those building blocks where they form. But Webb has already handed us the warning. There is a clock running on Titan, and it is running backward. So go back to where you started, to that amber marble wrapped in haze, hiding its surface behind a veil. You know now what's underneath. Rain that isn't water, seas that shouldn't exist, storms climbing through a sky 4 times too deep, and in the air between the clouds, the quiet chemistry that once on one world became us. Life needs time, and Titan's clock is winding down. So when you look at that orange world now, you have to ask what you are actually seeing. A cradle or a grave, the first chapter of something or the last page. Did we arrive too early to watch life begin out there, or too late to watch it bloom? Titan has been waiting 4 billion years for someone to look closely. The unsettling part isn't that we finally did, it's that we may have looked at exactly the wrong moment, or the only one we were ever going to get. If this revelation about Titan sent a chill down your spine, then you absolutely need to see what James Webb just uncovered on Europa. A moon that may be hiding an ocean twice the size of Earth's, and the data is even more disturbing. Click that video right now, because what we are finding in our own solar system is rewriting everything we thought we knew about life in the universe. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next discovery might be the one that changes everything forever. I'll see you on the other side.